go. All right. Let's let's get to work here. Okay. How's everybody doing today? Fortunately, I don't have anybody here, but that's okay. It is what it is. All right. Today, this is my most recent acquisition. This is a TGR Jane V2 CE in the Superior, the only way to buy it, Windows key. It's got the rainbow weight. There's a minor scratch here, but whatever. Yeah, gorgeous. So, what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be taking out the linears that are already soldered, resolder some tactiles, and I don't know. I may stay with this exact same theme. What's up, Naveed? How you doing, brother? Thank you, thank you. Only got a couple days, man. Tuesday's the big day for me. What up, Nick's Keys? How you doing? So, I'm going to take out, I have the original PCB and original carbon fiber plate. As some of you guys know, there's been some improvements on the Jane plates, and so Rukia had created some improvements. So I got a Rukia carbon fiber plate made. And I'm also going to switch from the OEM PCB to one of these Mech 11 ones. I'll just keep the two OG Jane PCBs in stock, and if I decide to get rid of the board in the future, I got two, Mech 11 PCBs. So differences. I know there's some different cuts, and I think the OG Jane plate, it has like I don't think it has these like lightning areas right here. I'll pull it out and compare it when I pull out the board. So I'm gonna start with getting to soldering and putting the. I'm gonna do HMX firecrackers, of course. The homie Yowzers gets the Jane. So. All right. Okay. How's everyone's week going? Naveed, you ready? As ready as you can be, right? Let's go bottom row first. Just a waiting room, huh? Yeah, man, we gotta go early, 5:45 in the morning on Tuesday. Due to America, unfortunately, we don't get mandatory overtime, so my company is what's referred to as generous in giving you 5 days. And I'm going to take additional 5 on top of that. So, not much time. My wife, yeah, bro, America sucks. When I was in Japan, I met up with Goth, and we had a few pours. And I forget what country he's from originally. He lives now, him and his family, in Japan. And he asked me, he was like, "Oh, so in America, do they give you a nanny?" And I'm like, I just literally started audibly laughing like a nanny. Uh, America doesn't give us a damn thing. It's not even mandatory to give men any time off. And he's like, oh, he starts talking about the time he had off, the nanny that I think lives with you for a month, kind of sets up your home while you're in the hospital. Um, I'm like, bro, we don't get any of that. Like, they don't care at all. So, what you find in America really is, unless you're a tech company, which has a lot of competition with the foreign markets, or a lot of foreigners that are, within their company, you get the bare minimum. And, bare minimum is nothing. A friend of mine recently had a child 6 months ago, and her husband didn't get a day off. None. What's up, Mo Chief? To recap for you, Mo Chief, rebuilding the Jane. This is a Rukia plate. Um, yeah, there's been, from my understanding, there's the Rukia plate, and there's another plate that's kind of the default. I can't remember who it is at the moment. Um, but I've heard really good things about Rukia's changes, and so I'm going to rock with this plate. This was made by Keybox, by the way. And if you're not aware, these are HMX firecrackers, because I am a tactile lover, connoisseur, building with MX Blacks hand lubed. I mean, I could do it with MX Browns hand lubed, spring swapped, filmed, um, but definitely not with blacks. Mo Chief, how was work today, bro? What's going on, keyboard dad? Hello, hello. Ooh, next month or two. My carnival should be in soon. Unlike Mochief, I got one of the colors that got delayed. Mochief has his already. Um, I have, I guess, I signed up for the interest check of the Lumen. Or not interest check, the, hey, I'm going to buy this. So, whatever. Man of my word, so I'm going to buy it. If you're wondering why, I look back at the tactile switch, or any, what's on, it's going to be tactile with me, just to make sure that the stems are lined before I place it in the board here. What up, Valk? Oh, and let me look back 1 second. As Valk and some of us have, these are the Saru V2s. Super highly recommend these. From my understanding, I think they come out on the 30th, and I'm gonna place a extra order because they're bangers straight up. Definitely when I get the Eclipse, I will be putting those in the Eclipse along with a bunch of other switches I have planned for that build. And just like this, I'll probably, if there's a cat. Yeah, I'm not sure. Have you ordered Navid from Keys before? Is it pretty expensive to get shipped to Canada? And if there's any little glitches or something like that, I ain't a professional at this. Trying. I was Valk. I was messing around with Streamlabs a few minutes ago. I was trying to determine if I was going to try OBS Studios as I've done in the past, and kind of seem to have a you know an idea of how it works versus Streamlabs, but I couldn't see the chat or something. I don't know what was going on, so I gave up. I only gave it like 5 minutes. Fairly expensive for the Switch is not worth the proxy fee. Damn, that sucks. Uh, Here and there. Maybe every couple weeks or something. I think I got it kind of dialed in of where my cameras are placed. I have a camera right there, my camera up here. Lighting is, you know, little weird where I'm. Oh, I'll turn that off. Uh-oh. What happened to that light? There we go. Yeah, we'll see. Probably do some streams or just chilling. I think one of the things that, like a lot of you guys have, is kind of like a specialized schedule, which keeps consistency. And I'm generally not consistent, even on my YouTube. I was consistent for a little while, and a lot of people start subscribing to me on my other YouTube for gun-related content, and I've kind of been MIA on there for a while. But we'll see. Vice, what up? Tell my man Alden I said what's up. And Vice, what you need to do is figure out how to solder, man. It's not that hard. Yeah. Yeah, just doing it for fun, to be honest with you. This whole hobby is pretty damn fun. And it's actually fun that, some of y'all popped in this time. I didn't really advertise it last time I was streaming. For me, that was kind of a test, so. But, yeah, this is pretty cool. If you say linears are the best, Vice will learn to solder. That ain't happening. Vice will learn to solder. Absolutely not. Okay. So I even have a my solder setup is a little ghetto too. When you see like Alex Odo solder, he pulls a set out, and he has like a fan and all that stuff. You know what I'm using for a fan? I'm using this fan that I got in Japan. And I'm going to put it right here. And when I solder, it blows the smoke this way. It works. But, yeah. looks good. Let me check. All right, yeah, that looks good. Just checking, making sure everything's pushed down. All right. Solder time. So I sold the wand tactiles. They definitely weren't Type R clones. Um, they were they're more like a light tactile with a weird big light tactile bump. Um, I thought they didn't sound that great in hand, but then they did sound better in my keyboard. Um, but yeah, I wasn't feeling them. So someone else bought them for me. So that was good. All right, solder time. Okay. Just bought the wands today. Listen, everybody's, everybody has their own opinion. You may love them. They may be one of your favorite switches. Some people hate the Type R's. Some people hated the firecrackers. Um, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. That's the thing about this hobby. Some people like Windows keyless for some weird reason. All right, where to start? Yep, we're ready. Let me. I feel you, Valk. There's about this one today. I thought they were okay, by the way. Yep. I'll tell you one that I'm really excited about is the hollow tips from Keebs and Cables. Um, they actually are sending me 30 of them to try out. So I just got shipping today. Um, so they're shipping from Australia, so who knows when they'll actually be here, but definitely you'll have a sound test from me when those bad boys come in. Yeah, the hollow tips from Keebs and Cables. They are kind of like black and pinkish. Um, they they have like the stem is like hollow, like a bullet essentially, and so they're supposed to have this like cupping sound when when the stem hits the case. Mm, mm-mm. Yeah, check them out. They have some pretty detailed information on them on their Discord. Kind of the idea behind them and the process. Um, it'd be cooler for me as a gun guy if they were called the hollow points. But yeah, that whole process seems very, very interesting to me. I decide which hobby to spend money in: keyboards versus guns. Whew, man. You know, I'll say right now it's mostly keyboards and whiskey. Um, I am a part of a. Oh my goodness, yes. I have. I could probably pull two things out that would that would absolutely destroy my entirety of my keyboard hobby in probably like two firearms. But I'll say this: the gun hobby doesn't have this. It doesn't move as fast. So like most, there's barely anything like so. Every year in the gun hobby, there's kind of the biggest event is something called SHOT Show, and everyone kind of can't wait to see SHOT Show because that's like where all the new stuff is shown. It's kind of like if you're a gamer waiting for E3 back in the day, you know, see all the new titles, everything that's coming out, all the new trailers. That's what SHOT Show is about. But the problem is, like a lot of these things that they'll show don't come out. It may not ever come out, or it may be later that year. It may be delayed. It may come out and it sucks. But the innovation isn't really there for a lot of things. So I have a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of firearms that I wanted, things that were on my backlog, and I'm kind of looking, and there's not much that I want to grab anymore. Um, I am now an FFL, which for you non-Americans or people in the that aren't in the gun hobby is a federal firearms licensee. And so I went in with a buddy, and we have a business, and well, his business, and we don't have like a storefront, but we do rent a space that's the FFL's like address, and we got a special license so that we can get full auto stuff and make our own full auto stuff. So that was a lot of work and a decent amount of money. And but that allowed me to get some things in the works that are impossible to have as like a normal civilian. So it's kind of like my focus there in that hobby right now. It's funny, the one thing that's also funny is the parallels between this hobby and like the gun hobby. Um, Ooh, Big H tactile win. I don't know, man. The thing about tactiles is like I'm not like Yowzers, where I mean, she's like an absolute savant. Like remembers what it's in each switch, does a lot of Franken switching, kind of knows exactly what top and bottom housing that she feels is like the best. Me, I'm kind of like, hey, does this feel good or not? um, but so parallels. So, for example, right, you got people in this hobby that are more like that like older stuff, right? They they're looking for Alps builds, or they're looking for the vintage keyboards, and maybe they don't give a crap about anything brand new. They're just all vintage, all vintage, all vintage. And those to me are kind of like, there's those guys in the firearms community that are basically, all World War II and Vietnam era stuff, and that's all they collect, you know. Then there's, the hype beasts in the gun industry, like the people that are like the most expensive stuff. That's all I rock with, you know. And there are definitely hype beasts in this hobby. People that are just rocking the most expensive, just so they can take it to keyboard meetups. You know, those people are just getting the most expensive guns just to take to the next like event or something, next practice session or something like that, so they can flex on the range. I, I would do both. Now, now you said tactile when, but raiding the party. Holy shit! Thank you, Alex. That's cool as shit. What's going on, y'all? But what you're saying about tactiles, no, nothing in the works. I am kind of working on a keycap set though. Some people in here have seen the kind of the the early version of it. I got some the DCS keys, so I could figure out exactly what colors I wanted. Um, yeah. What up, Shy? DCS, because from my understanding, their number for MOQ is actually pretty reasonable. I don't plan on doing any. Is an all H alpha? No, but someone did say there should be an 84 key in there, and I think I like that. Um, it's going to be colorful, so we'll see if when I get the time to kind of lock in and do some more work on that, I'll do it. Thank you. Yeah, this board is my cloud line. Here, let me put this down for a second. So, put this over here real quick. So this is my Cloudline V2. It's kind of as far as I know, it's a one of one. So JJW made, like, from my understanding, less than a handful of gold accents. And then I also was able to trade with somebody and change the weight to the brass weight, which the black color does not come with. It comes with like a stainless steel. So kind of fit the black and gold theme that I wanted for this board. And if I pull off the keycaps, you'll also see that these are Wingtree Golden Apple V2s. So the black and gold collab even extends to the switches. And also, this isn't necessarily black and gold. It's as gold as they could get it, but this I had this made from turnt wood pullers. It's the same company that made, if you see in Alex Odos's keycap puller, they made this for me. Uh, really sick. It's kind of hard to see, but there's like, yeah, this thing is real nice. All right, back to the Jane. Oh man, yeah, Reggie, they killed it. I've talked about a, I've talked about another one to them that I was thinking of, and we'll see. Maybe I'll do another one soon. Yeah, man. Appreciate that. Might be able to point you towards a carbon fiber, brass, gold composite for handles and the like. Okay. That'd be cool. But Naveed, you asked a little bit ago about boards that I have upcoming. Let me open up. I generally keep a Excel doc of what I have coming and in what order I think they're coming. So I got my Matrix Carnival Red Flash, which I would have if it didn't get delayed with the Red Flash color. I think my Haven 103 will be next after that one. And then it's kind of a toss-up between the Key Cult number 3, the Plus 84, and the OGR2. FatCarbonMaterials.com. Oh, group buys that are upcoming. Let me open that sheet back up because I have that in the sheet as well. The Type Box and the W80 are my top two. Like, those are my top two. 666RX is another one because I got GMK Pandemonium. And I plan on putting that on there. But yeah, the W80 and Type Box are just straight up easy locks for me. Couple that are on the list of potentials are, I mean, I think I'm buying the Lumen TKL is another. The Blaine. Ooh, new tactiles you can recommend. These come out, I think, on the 30th from Keys. HMX Sorrow V2s. These things, bro. Similar to a Type R, with that D bump. Very nice pitch. Incredibly well lubed from the factory. They may end up replacing either my Type R's on here or my Black Cats. Like, they're spectacular. I have them in this board right now. My F18X V2. This is the board that I do all my sound tests on. So when you hear or see any of my videos where I'm doing a sound test, it's on this board. It's not longer than 3 millimeters. I think it's 2.9 millimeters. One to buy. I actually already sold one. I used to have two of them. And I just really like the sound from that board. I think it's a really well balanced board, so I wanted to standardize on one board. So yeah, I bought a second, and then I realized, oh, that was I bought your other F1. Yeah. How you enjoying that F1? You still have it? Wait, they decided to allow a WinKey version of the type box? From my understanding, yes. And if they don't, I ain't buying it. There's one board that is like one of my grails, and someone is selling it right now. And it was never made in Windows keyless, or Windows key, sorry. And the person tried hard, 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 hard to like get me to buy it. They offered some really crazy stuff to get me to buy it, and I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I was like, I would rather go to the actual designer and pay them $1,000 more to just do a one-off for me than buy all this stuff in Windows keyless. I just can't do it. Sorry for making you like Windows key. So for me, it's not the use, right? Because technically, I mean, there really is no difference. I don't like it because I don't like the look of it. That's just my personal thoughts. Is I don't like the look of Windows keyless. It just looks kind of silly to me. So I'm actually glad in a lot of ways that the hobby seems to like Windows keyless more. And some boards come out, and exactly, and it looks like a kit with missing teeth, or a kid with missing teeth. Yeah, I appreciate sometimes when boards that I really, really want are Windows keyless only, because that means I don't have to spend any money. I am instantly out. My philosophy: Windows keyless for classic designs, Windows key for trendy designs. Like I said earlier, before some people joined, it's, this hobby is preferences. What's for some person is not necessarily for everybody. We can steer you to certain things and certain switches. I can give you sound tests, but you may get that switch and you hear ping where I didn't hear ping. You hear just a sound that doesn't work for your board because maybe you're doing a PP plate and I'm doing aluminum. I mean, since I do tactiles only, I pretty much only do carbon fiber and aluminum. Um, Not really a fan of tactiles in PP or polycarbonate or anything of that sort. I just remap Windows key to one of the alts on the other side you prefer, and that's it. Yeah, some of the boards. So here's the thing, right? When I got into this hobby, I tried a little of everything. Tried clickies, um, tried linears, went down the gamut of a lot of the linears that people said were like the goated ones at that point in time. Some that were new, some that were just coming out. And it wasn't just, when I mean try, I wasn't just talking about like putting it in the board and trying for a few hours and then moving on. I built four boards for work, and I had two of those boards had tactiles, and two of those boards had linears. And like Oil Kings. I remember I tried the TTC Venus. I tried the Pearls, the ones that are the roller linears. I tried the Hades. I tried uh, like MX Blacks. can't remember some of the other ones. Oh, I tried the Bowl Laranges, and I gave them a good, you know, each week I'd switch off at work. Gave it a good 6 months of, trying linears, and it ain't for me. It's not for me at all. It's the resistance I need. I love tactiles, but I accepted linears because of the greater availability. What made them tolerable for me was super long springs with a much heavier weight. Okay, it's the resistance. Yeah, like I said, preferences, man. We don't all like the same things. We don't all type the same. We don't all look the same. We don't all have the same voice. Same for me. Longer spring and 60 to 70 gram. So for those coming in, I'm rebuilding a TGR Jane that's off screen right now. I'll pull it back out for a second. It's this bad boy right here. I got this recently from Mike from Novel Keys, actually. I reached out to him because he had this for sale during the last Novel Keys meetup, and I thought someone bought it that day. So, as I was on the hunt for a Windows Key Jane, I was like, you know what? I know someone bought it. Someone bought it that day. I'm just still going to reach out. And so I reached out to Mike, and he's like, oh yeah, no one bought it. I was like, well, I am. So this was actually a board. This was, so that's the rainbow Toblerone carbon fiber plate. It has the novel key creams in here, I think. I think. And I know Teja built this for him. So the goal of today is I'm switching to a Mech 11 PCB, a Rukia carbon fiber plate, and my preference of tactiles. I hope when I change this to the firecrackers that it still retains its sound, because while I may not like typing on linears, the sound of this board right now is really good. And I have a Jane V3, the Rubra hose, that I think sounds really, really good. So if it's like that or better, I mean, this with the Novel Keys creams are already better than my V3 Jane, so. Sound test with the creams. Sure. When I finish this plate, I'll do that before I disassemble it and put the firecrackers in. Small raised corners of the V2 over the V3. Oh, I know they're not going to sound anything like the creams. I think they're going to sound better. But I was just saying I hope it retains a good sound. Shark, what up, brother? Appreciate you, Alex, for Sending a bunch of people over my way, man. I don't even know how that works. Like, I've been on plenty of his streams, and he says, "Oh, let's raid this person." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." How are you two? Shark, I'm good. Couple days from my wife giving birth to our first. About to be a girl dad, for those that are unaware. Thank you, appreciate that. It's been a long time coming. Really long time coming. Don't want to bring the mood of the stream down, but we had a lot of issues in that field, in that realm, and yeah, finally we're able to get past it. Alright, almost done. Oof. But how was so in the chat, what's some of the boards you guys are interested in coming out soon? What's some things that, so some of you that know me, I'm not a 65 percenter. I do have one 65 board, and I've owned three others in the past. I am mostly full size at work, or I'm always full size at work, and TKL here at home. What's wrong with your Jane V2? Alright, let me go through, make sure, I think. Things look all good. Yeah, okay, I think we're good. Gonna turn this bad boy off. Dailing Topre for a while now. That's cool. I've tried Topre. Generally, every time I go to Japan, I play around with Topre. Generally, go to the big camera, and like I played around with the Real Force R4s, and they were pretty nice. Didn't buy one, but if I try to go down that route again, I think I want it in full size. So that I can kind of daily it at work more. Because if I'm at home, I'm not going to use it that much. Like, to be perfectly honest with you. Alright, so you guys wanted a sound test of the Jane with the creams. And so let me pull my mic over. Kind of get it right here. And Latoya Ursula Hari. OGR2, Tofu 65, 3MB 65, Cheese 65, nice, DCR motif, you pretty much mirror mine. Like, both of us already bought the DCR R8 type box. I'm just waiting for them to put it up so I can give them some damn money. Like, come on, man, it's time. Lumen, I guess I signed up to buy it. um, so I think I'll get that in the CMOS or Seafoam, whatever it's called. Lost Love, probably. And the 666RX, that's definite for me. And another one is the Nerve Sealy. I think that's what it's called. But alright, let me give you a little. Let me go to. Even I don't have it plugged in. I need to see something to type. So I'm going to go to monkey type. Oh, hold on, let me turn off this fan. Sorry about that. That's about where I put it for my sound tests. Okay. All right. Now, let's take her apart. Music to my ears. Damn. Woof. That's good things to hear. Gonna put in a jade until Grass Valley comes. Yeah, Grass Valley, if you're talking about that Seafoam Lumen, Grass Valley is probably going to look incredible on that. I also got Grass Valley. Let me take this out. You know what? The hell are these? What upcoming keycap sets is everyone interested in? Is that the same? It feels the same. Those are not magnetic. Orange alert, but hopefully it makes it to group buy. There's 1, 2, 3. There's the 4th one. Okay. Take that off. Oop, that's in. The BKRE already in stock on prototypist. BKRE was an interesting one to me. I did not buy that one. It's got a really cool design. It doesn't necessarily fit anything that is like nostalgic for me. It does look cool though. It looks very interesting. Went in on most. Yep. Ishtar was another one that I grabbed. Yep. Gotta wait until it's closer. Nice. Move my mic back over here. Gotta wait until it's closer. There are an incredible amount of screws on this damn board. Jeez. One thing I did do is I replaced the feet with some 4mm by 8mm. Okay, let's stick this here. Look at that. Nice. Let me see if I can get this O-ring out. Well, I regret not getting Pandemonium. That's up to you, man. I think it's sold a ton, or it's selling a ton. So chances of you getting something later if you want are extremely high. All right. Okay. Chances of Nav paying retail for GMK are extremely low. Before, now I've done this in the past and built a board and then found out at the very end that there was something wrong with the PCB. So let me test this before I wrap this bad boy up. So I'm going to use this little adapter. Keyboard tester. And we're going to see if everything works. So far, so good. Yeah, we are good. Okay. All right. Let's put this O-ring back on. Hold on one second. Did I not tighten? So I did the stabilizers. And by the way, these are Type Plus stabilizers. Yeah, I did not tighten this down, huh? Actually, I do that on purpose. So I'm going to show you a little trick here, right? So, with your stabilizers, right? After you've lubed them, when you have screw-in stabilizers and you screw them down extremely tight, they're sometimes you need a little bit of play to get them into the exact position they're in. Sometimes you'll think that, oh, I need to relube my stabilizer, or that I, don't like these particular stabilizers. But what may be happening is they're just not in exactly the right position for the tolerances. So one thing you can do is actually mount whatever key you want. So let me put this down so I can put this space bar on here. Let the actual key put the stabilizer exactly where it wants to be, and then tighten it. That allows your space bar or your enter key to place the exact, like the stabilizer, exactly where it wants to be. So I'm going to do that for my other keys here. Yeah, dirty. I noticed that one time where I didn't like the sound or something. I forget what board it was that I was building, and I just something was off. Something was off, and I was like, "What is going on here?" And then I noticed, because I wasn't getting like a good return, and then I noticed like, if I come off on the stabilizers a little bit more, let the key kind of be the guide, then I'm good to go. Yeah, desoldering switches sucks. But where the hell is it? Um, where did I put it? I don't know. There's a desoldering gun that I highly, highly, highly recommend. Is it in here? Nope, it's not in there. Ooh. Let me just put that in here so that doesn't happen again. Nope, it's not in there either. Somewhere around here. It's great though. Let me pull. Where did I put this at? Yeah, man, mini USB. So one thing that I wanted to do is so there's a lot of mini USB to USB-C dongles out there, and they're kind of big and bulky. And the USB-C plugs directly into that dongle. What I did not like about that is that extra weight. So I found this cable, which essentially should add no extra weight to the mini USB port and just be, from a weight perspective, should be the same as if it was a native mini USB cable. So desoldering right now. Harvesting old cherry PCB, 4 solder points each switch. Oof. That is brutal. I'm going to release these just a little bit just to make sure. All right. Do the same here. The same here. Yep, we are good to go. That's good, only 10 left. I have. You know a V2 just released? Literally just released a couple days ago on Unikeys. Really? What makes you say that? Okay, how's that looking? Oh, Porties are fantastic. Fantastic switch. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite Wingtree releases. Golden Apple V2s I like a lot. All right, let's start putting this bad boy back together. I am going to put this on the side for a second so it's a little easier for me to hold as I get the 4 posts in. Porties were too loud. That sucks because that thing is, for me, I tend to like a louder switch in the first place. So that kind of played into my personal sound preference. I'll tell you one thing I'm waiting for as well. So these HMX Sarus, like I'm telling you, when these release in a few days, these are amazing. I'm super thankful for DiviniKeys for hooking up early access for those for several of us. There's some people in the stream that have them, and we all pretty much universally agree that they are spectacular. I'm waiting for those. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Toreros. Those seem very, very interesting. And the hollow tips are very, very interesting to me as well. Like that switch is very weird. HMX what? Honestly, I'm starting to forget who's doing what right now. I think you're talking about these. These are the HMX Saru V2s. These are from Divinikis, and they're a D bump similar to the Type R and the Black Cats that are right here. 2.9 millimeter travel, extremely well factory lubed. The bump is just immediate. Like if you look at the force graph, it is like just immediate bump. That's unfortunate, Shy. I mean, I guess whatever proto round they're on, they're sending to me. So I got 30 on the way right now. So at least I'll get to do some sort of sound test with them. And I'm telling you, like, yes, I'm not a professional streamer. I kind of joined this hobby, the last few years. But get you one of these, guys. Like, come on, man. Just get you one of these. Sometimes I see you guys struggling with, like, trying to find a screw. It's like, dude, come on. What are we doing here? I told them no point in sending me a pro unless they wanted two sound tests. My viewers will need to hear production switches. Yeah. What he's saying is the hollow tips that are coming out in the near future, the ones that I'm getting are not final. They're a prototype. For me personally, Shy, I'm not looking to do like a review with them. Just kind of, get the sound, get the overall feel, and see if that cup technology that they have in the stem actually does anything, to be honest with you. All right. So let's take this one. Now, should I stick with Dark Kaiju or should I do... I'm going to stick with Dark Kaiju. Sorry, I was going to give you... Damn, these are kind of tight on here. Ooh. Come on, man. Come on. Damn, these novelty creams are tough. Shy, what do you generally like, to be honest with you? Like, I see you in the Discord, but what's generally your thing? Oh, crepes and yolks. I do not. I only play in the select clack range. Yeah, I feel you, brother. I mean, you see the black cats are right there. these things? Black hats I pass with flying colors. Yep. The egg yolks seem like the sound of the egg yolks. I really, really like, but they're linear, so when they get that kind of dual bottom material and a tactile, I would love to try that out. Like that is extremely interesting to me. The entire, the hell did that go? Huh. Well, I will find that switch in a few minutes. Oop. Did you try Owl Lab TI switches? That's what I got right now. I personally did not. Where the hell did that switch go? So not switch, but keycap. Sorry, let me. There it is. All right, I'm back. I have a ship pile of tactile switches and they sound great, but for some reason they always end up back in the containers. That sucks. The pedal. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't like the pedal, so I tried a little 10-pack sampler. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Outside of the browns, I don't really care for many cherry switches. And the purples. I guess the purples are just another recolor of the, what are they, the Ergos? Ergo Clears or something. But yeah, man, I don't know. I had the Falcons, and yeah, I just wasn't feeling those. I still have a few of them, actually. That's probably why I didn't like them. Did not try the honeys. I tried the Falcons stock, and then I did. So it was in my. I used to have a Matrix, the 65 that opens up. The noose. I had a noose, and they were. I didn't like them normal, and then I used the Afion. What are they called? Beat drop stems, and I thought that sounded a lot better than the default. But then eventually I sold that board. And generally, when I've used a switch in a board for a long time, I don't tend to put them back in anything else. Navid, did you reveal a name yet? If people don't know, I'm having a girl, and the name is Jordan. Well, I hate to break it to you, Weesh. I'm having a kid on Tuesday as well. So me and Navid are having a kid almost at the same time. You haven't revealed the name. Do you even have a name? I know some people have like a couple in the air that they're thinking right at the last moment. Honestly, man, like we tried, brother. It's been a long 20 years of attempts. Let's just say that. Um, News would be a one. Yeah, so could you please mod me? I need the band shark. Appreciate it. You know, the only thing that sucks is, and this is just me being random, is I wish my Twitch name was also Big H. Someone's gatekeeping it. I looked. They only have like one follower. They've never streamed. Doesn't look like they ever sign in. And I'm like, please let me get this. Like, sign in one of these days. Switch your name. Let me get that, please. Yeah, there's someone that's a big underscore H, and there's someone that's just big H. And I recently just reached out just to both of them and followed both of them just to just to see if they ever respond. That'd be cool. I'm gonna need to go grab the regular caps lock. I'm not a huge, I don't know. For me, for some reason, I like symmetry, right? And I don't feel that the stepped caps lock is symmetric to me. I also find that it's a little off center, and I don't like like if you hit it here, kind of moves a little bit, you know? So that's just me. Sometimes. But yeah, I feel, some people like the aesthetics of it, just like people like the aesthetics of Windows keyless. Some people, I haven't met many, like the scooped F and J. Um, so I'm not going to desolder this on stream. I'll do that another time. I do have it. And I wonder what stabilizers these were that that were used. But I will be right back. Let me grab this key. Yeah, I like the DCS nipples. I thought that was all DCS sets because my first two DCS sets had those. So I just kind of assumed that that was every single DCS set. And so then I was confused at a meetup when I was like, that's not a DCS set. This has, the bars. And someone was like, DCS? DCS does this as well. All right, let me see. Let me go back to keyboard tester and make sure we're still good. Yeah, think we're good. So let's go to the good old monkey type. And all right. Have a good night. Okay, let me get it to the point of where I usually do my sound tests. That. Yeah, so I wanted a vertical mouse that was more ergonomic. I do use ones that are kind of tilted a little bit, and what I find with those is I tend to dig my hand down, and so getting carpal tunnel a little bit. So I wanted something that adjusted my position to be kind of vertical. And this was one of the only mouse I found that was completely vertical, and it happens to look like a gun. Now, what's also funny is you'll be able to hear this. Turn the switch on. It actually has full auto, semi-auto, and off. Now, the old version of this mouse, and I don't know if the new version is the same, the old version, the way it has a click here, was actually a clicky switch inside. It was actually a clicky in the V1. I don't know about the V2. I can't see it in here. But the old V1, you could actually take this apart and change the switch if you desoldered it. This was the Ragnarok Ergo Strike 7. Okay. Let's do the sound test here. Interesting. Let's do another hand real quick, and I'm going to do 30 seconds. It's actually O-ring. Yeah, I didn't top mount this one. Actually, when I opened it up, it doesn't look like the top mount screws are in here. So I may have to, if I want to try going back and trying top mount, I'm going to have to look up what screws those actually are. Hmm. I Funny thing is, I like both builds. There's things I liked about the MKs, and there's things I like about these firecrackers in here. To be honest with you, I probably would prefer the Sarus in here sound wise more than the firecrackers. So maybe at another time I'll desolder these and try these Sarus or the Black Cats. But I like that spacebar a lot. The alphas are decent. It does. I feel like this row is louder. On the NK, the cream build, this felt a little like deeper when it hit here. I like it. I don't think it's like a slam dunk. Oh my god, this takes a crap on the cream build. I think the cream build sounded really fucking good too. I just hated typing on it. Yes, it's the Rukia plate, which is slightly different. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to compare them, right? So the Rukia plate um, has some cuts here. Oh, hold on, my bad. And I think it's a little. I don't think it has as much. Damn, I should have. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, the Rukia plate definitely freed up the spacebar more. And that's, I think, overall why that sounds better. Definitely. Yeah. I should have forgot to take a picture. Huh. One thing I just noticed with the original build. Actually, let me move this back. Is the enter was fucked up. Look at that. That's why the enter sounded like ass. The wire. Yeah, the wire is not even. Look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to desolder that to fix it, unfortunately. Unless I can get something under there to push that one back in. That is. Yeah, the wire is completely out on the inner of the original. Yeah, maybe it'll find something that can fit in there to fix that. Let me see. Come on. It's close. There we go. Got it. Got it. But yeah, I got both, so I can play around, move back and forth. Maybe I'll try with a heavier O-ring as well at some point in time. I may try to find those top mount screws. While I'm here, let's do a V3 comparison. Where's my V3? All right. So I'm going to take that out. Put you over here. Put you here. Man, the V3 is way heavier. This, I know this one I have top mounted. Let me see here. That is the Wing Tree. I think I have the Chian in here. Sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation. Yes, that's what I have. Aluminum plate, Night Stab V4s, top mount on this one. Yeah, that's it. But all right, so we'll do the same here real quick. Little sound test here. Get it into the same position. Okay. Yeah, these are a damn good switch. You know, that space bar is wild to me. Like, I think this one has 8x4 bump-ons. It's sticking up a lot more dust than the V2s. Yeah. Actually, Shy, I switched my bump-ons on the Jane V2 as well. So they're actually 8x4 bump-ons on that one as well. I didn't like how the default bump-ons essentially just make the entire board, if you're using a desk mat like this, the whole board's just sitting on the mat from the weight of the board. Yeah, this thing is super heavy compared to it. I'm a fan, though. All right. Yeah. Well, that about wraps up the Jane stream. Hope you guys had fun. I don't have a clue how you set it to move to someone else or raid someone else's stream. Um, so I'm about to call it. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you guys for joining in. And I'll try to do some of these more in the future. Oh, probably the next one is going to be I'm getting a proto of the Eclipse. Oh, so raid streamer. I don't see anyone anyways. Okay. All right. Appreciate y'all. See you next time when I get the clips, and I'm going to do a lot of tactiles in that thing. So, talk to you guys later. Peace.